Children feel ignored when their parents are on their phones or when they're interacting with them.
Singaporean parents are often said to be helicopter parents and very involved in their children's studies. Why then, in the latest Pisa test, did only half of 15-year-old students here surveyed say their parents take an interest in what they're learning? Well, here are the stats. While 88% of students surveyed said they had their main meal with their parents, just 49% felt their parents showed an interest in their schoolwork at least once a week. That's well below the OECD average of 66%. We get to the point with Assistant News Editor Amelia Teng. Amelia, as you well know, parental support and engagement are areas in which Singapore used to be strong in these PISA tests. So why the perceived decrease in support last year?
So OECD didn't really investigate or go into the reasons why students felt this way, but we know from past research that the perception of family support matters a lot, especially for teenagers. So experts have said that some possible reasons why teens feel this way is possibly the use of mobile phones, even at meal times. Children feel ignored when their parents are on their phones or when they're interacting with them. And parents, sometimes their own tiredness and the mental load that they bring back from work and other struggles sometimes leaves them with little bandwidth to support their children. Also, it gets increasingly harder for parents as their kids get older to know fully what is happening in their children's lives outside of the home and in school, because what they know also largely depends on what the children tell them.
Of course, so then how can parents ask kids about their studies or school that, will let these children know that they have that support?
I think some suggestions from experts would be to seize any opportunities with your children to chat with them, to not just simply talk at them and give them instructions or ask them only about things that are seemingly important to you, like school. And some good times to talk to them could be over meals, or when it's a more relaxing time, like over dessert or during car rides, before bedtime, during grocery runs. Another reminder from a counselor would be to not get impatient to start lecturing or problem solving whenever your child talks to you, because these tend to shut down conversations quite quickly. And instead, try to practice what we call active listening. Let them share without any immediate feedback or passing quick judgment.
All very good points. So another finding from the PISA tests show that students from lower income families in Singapore did better than their overseas peers from poor families as well. However, OECD's Director of Education and Skills says social disparities in learning outcomes remain clearly visible in Singapore, and that Singapore is average as opposed to high performing when it comes to students' sense of belonging. So Amelia, what do his observations say about our education system, and how could MOE address these possible gaps?
I think our students are top performers academically, but there are definitely many spots for concerns. Only 7 in 10 of them feel like they belong in school. This is lower than the OECD average. Similarly, about 1 in 5 students feel that they're lonely in school. This is higher than the OECD average. So we do need to think a little bit more about why our students feel like they don't fit in at school, and if they are getting the necessary support to not just do well in school, but to also grow up well-adjusted and happy. I guess some possible ways to address this would be through peer support, which is a very important thing, or informal ways of checking in with students outside of lesson time, perhaps during CCAs and other activities.